Welcome to the Friday Senior Solutions Agency call. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm going to be your host. I'm here with Jimmy Hernandez, Agency Director down in San Antonio, Texas. And we got a special guest. We've got Jesse and Aaron from Transamerica. They've been gracious enough to come on to do a presentation for us, which is awesome. So certainly, certainly appreciate that. So Aaron, before we get started, Jimmy, any announcements at all? I don't have anything. I don't know if you have any announcements before we turn the call over to Jesse and Aaron from Transamerica.
No, sir, I don't have any announcements, so we're good to go. Well, I just want to say, hey, today marks the first day of the last quarter, so we're entering into the fourth quarter. So, guys, it's time to turn it up. But
Yeah, you know what? Good point. October 1st, if you're looking, if you want to, get that momentum going into the new year and have a big paycheck before Christmas, like this is the time you want to do it. This is the time in October before Thanksgiving that you want to double down on lead orders and really invest in your business. So you'll have, plenty of people to go see through Thanksgiving, Christmas, and be able to just, keep that momentum going through the first quarter of next year. So great point. All right, Jesse, here we go. And make presenter.
Yeah, and then do you know how we share our screen with this, or?
Yeah, once you should see something pop up on your computer.
Okay, so
once you
sorry,
acknowledge
I
it,
kind of cut
we're going to
out
be
there.
able to see your screen.
Okay, and then do you know how to select which screen by chance, or
Well,
which
we
one
can
are you
see,
seeing?
yeah, I mean, Jimmy, I can see a screen. Can you see it?
Do you see the one with the notes on it or the presentation?
the presentation, it says what we'll cover.
Okay,
Yeah, there
so
are
yeah.
notes below it though.
No, there are notes below it. You're right.
Okay, so it should be showing my far right screen. How do I change that?
You want to go into presenter mode. I can click here. Let me see.
Huh. Well, yeah, we could just get started. Let's see here. So yeah, I am the internal wholesaler with Transamerica. So, your guys' sales partner here through any of our life insurance products. Like we said earlier, we have Aaron on the line as well. He is my partner, so we kind of work in a tandem as doing the same role here with Transamerica. We do cover the Southeast Territory. We are split state by state, but at the same time, we kind of work together. So the state really isn't a big factor. We do have an RVP, a regional vice president of sales. His name is Eric Rebenkoff. He is more in the field on the ground there in Florida is where he's based. He unfortunately wasn't able to make it here today, but going forward, I'll run through this presentation here. If you have any questions, feel free to, jump in. I know most of you are probably muted, but if I'm going a little fast, just let me know. But yeah, what we have today is we're going to focus on the final expense product. Here at Transamerica, we do offer 4 insurance products, technically 5, because we have 2 separate term policies, one with living benefits. But in terms of time today, we'll just focus here on the final expense, which is our fast, easy, protection coverage. But anyways, what we're going to cover today is our Transamerica difference, basically where we win, where we stand out from other providers across the industry. Then, another thing we will cover is meeting clients' needs, what Final Expense has to offer in protecting your clients for their future. Also understanding the opportunity. So why is it important to be covered by life insurance, specifically Final Expense in this regard, to, help protect your loved ones in the future. But our Final Expense has a lot of competitive products, that or competitive features that has to offer. So tracing back to where the Transamerica difference is, we will cover the features that actually help us or put us in front in certain areas of life insurance. But yeah, last but not least, we'll go over the marketing tools at the end. How to navigate through our e-app, how to run quotes, how to search your pending products and all that sort of stuff to really make the experience better for you agents and really looking professional with your clients as well.
Perfect.
But yeah, just to start the Transamerica difference, our big focus here at Transamerica is wealth and health. So, everyone wants to be wealthy, but we also need to stay healthy for that wealth to, really last, if that makes any sense. But we're a trusted brand. We've been around for over 100 years. We truly believe you deserve to work with a company that is, responsive and strives to inspire the growth of your business in creative and initiative ways. So Transamerica is committed to you and your success, and there are a few things that set us apart. Not only your success, but really for your clients' success and helping them sleep better at night, knowing that they're covered and any moment if something were to happen that their family is protected. But not only have we been around for a long time, which really comes in hand with that, is we are a highly rated A+ company when it comes to life insurance, as well as other products on like annuity lines and things like that. But we do have a wide portfolio of products to meet your clients' needs. Like I explained earlier, we do have technically the 5 different life insurance products we have to offer, still kind of focusing towards final expense today. But that being said, main thing with life insurance, as you all know, is helping protect your families, how we're going to meet your clients' needs. An important part of insurance planning is helping protect those clients' families from unexpected burdens. So that's where the final expense comes into play. As we know, funeral costs are gradually getting more and more expensive, and I don't see that slowing down anytime soon. Here on the right, you can see a chart kind of breaking down basically figures of what we have determined to be costs for funeral costs, cemetery costs, and then at the end here, you'll see probably on average a funeral and with the cemetery casket, everything going into it, on average, like I said, about $10,000 and can range all the way up to 24,000, even more at some times. So final expense truly helps cover any unexpected events and protects your family from financial debt or financial burden in the case, of a loved one passing away. So, we can't predict the future. We never know what's really going to happen. Sometimes even the healthiest people have some issues where something drastic happens randomly, and we need to be protected for that. And this is a way to help really protect that future. But kind of jumping into how we're meeting your clients' needs and more specificity. Geez, I can't talk. But
Right.
addressing different segments. So we have our baby boomers, our younger families, mass affluent and middle markets, as well as health impaired individuals. So as you know, boomers and seniors continue to be a part of a growing aging population. In fact, older Americans are projected to outnumber children for the first time in U.S. history by 2030, which is pretty crazy to think about. This product is set more towards older clients, but we do cover all the way down to juveniles. So it is a 0 to 85 product where we have a large expansion on how we can cover these clients in different ages as well. But kind of moving on, let's see here. Basically,
Hey, Jesse, let me make just a real quick announcement, not to throw you off your game, but
oh, no
guys,
problem.
as we're going through this too, if you have any questions, go ahead and either raise your hand, I can unmute you, you can ask your question, or if you want to type your question in, and then we can take questions either, as we're going through it or at the end. Jesse, let me turn it back over to you.
Yeah, and branching off of what Joe said, if I'm going too fast, feel free to raise your hand, let me know. because I know sometimes we can run through these pretty quickly. So,
No problem.
but yeah, back to what we were at, kind of our third topic we were going over today is really understanding the priority or the opportunity. Final expense is simple. People need it. We have a growing target market and career freedom and flexibility. A lot that goes into that is, it is fast, easy protection now that will be there when your clients' loved ones need it most. As I've been kind of banging on this whole time, we really want to protect our, family, our children, our grandchildren, our wives, husbands, whatever it may be. Um, the new simplified process really lets us do more in less time, which can help you grow your business. So, in addition to our final expense portfolio, this provides some of our simplest coverage available on the market as a simplified issue whole life policy with simplified underwriting guidelines. It's easier to place than fully underwritten products, plus it only requires a life insurance license and is easy to explain to your clients. So like I said, this will move up for me, but yeah, moreover, many people need it. Many individuals don't work with their financial planner and may be unaware of the financial burden of their final expenses. Many Americans believe, Social Security will pay for their final expense needs. However, the government only pays a lump sum of $225 to those who qualify. So as mentioned earlier, there's also a growing market for final expense with roughly 10,000 Americans turning 65 every day. So that's these baby boomers, these older clients that we want to really teach about this product and other life insurance products going forward. But yeah, the basic final expense overview, getting coverage is fast and easy, as I explained, includes reliable premiums, provides flexible benefits through riders, offers additional benefits in most states, and expedited claims up to 25,000. So we have two riders that are optionable, which is our accidental death benefit rider and our children or grandchildren rider. Those do come with an extra cost, but we do have a accelerated death benefit, terminal illness rider that comes with the policy built in, which is very unique because not necessarily a lot of providers will offer that with a final expense product. But kind of going into why it's so fast and easy, we have an iGo e-app. So I'm sure as most of you are working with other carriers, you've seen e-apps and how they work. We have the iGo system, which I know is used by numerous places like Forrester and things like that. But really what it means, just to kind of explain, is we can write business electronically. So we still do have an e-application, which has recently been shortened or cut down for most states. But the iGo e-app also helps you submit in good order. So with the paper app, we can have a lot of mistakes happen where something's missing or illegible or wasn't put in the right spot, and then you got to come back and correct those type of things. But with the iGo e-app, we will not have those mistakes occurring. So we will not be able to move on to the next section, or will technically not be able to submit the application until everything is in good order. But yeah, we can access this e-app from two different agent portals. We have our agent and advisors portal, which is our AX portal, and then we also have an agent net info portal, which we'll focus on today and go over a little later, kind of show you the interface of that, because I don't want to confuse you with both portals today. But in the future, Aaron or I can walk you through both portals, let you know which portal is best for certain things. But yeah, and then with the e-app, there's no approved other than applied for. So you're going to get an instant decision right away. So when you complete the e-app, it is going to let you know what risk class they're going to fall into. We have 3 different risk classes available for final expense. With our immediate and 10 pay, which I will go over here in the next couple slides, we have a standard and preferred. So that's really unique to the industry as well, because most carriers with final expense only have a standard. But then our third really risk class that a client can fall into is a graded. that is our easy solution. So that's something I'll go over as well here in the upcoming slides. But the e-app in the final expense product is Express Protect Underwriting. So like I said, places business faster. And what is really great for you guys to know is, that gets you paid quicker and also gets your clients covered quicker as well. So
Hey,
it is a,
Jesse, can,
yep,
can I ask a question real quick?
yep, no problem.
So as we're doing the e-application, it is set up now that we agents are able to get pretty much an instant decision from Transamerica. What percentage of the applications, maybe not an exact percentage, but just a guess of how many applications do you get an instant decision versus sometimes, maybe because of MIB or prescription history that it needs to be referred to an underwriter? Do you have any numbers on that, or are you always getting an instant decision?
It's always going to be an instant decision. There is times where an underwriter can come back to ask for various things that they needed more information on. But for the most part, it's always going to be an instant decision now with our new e-app and Express Underwriting. There is, let's see, so
So we shouldn't get, as an agent, if I'm submitting an application, so it's never going to be a situation where I submit it and then I get a message that says referred to underwriting.
yeah, not with the final expense anymore.
Okay, all
Another
right.
great thing to keep in mind is our underwriters are available 12 to 5:30 Eastern time for risk assessments.
Okay.
So if you're in a situation where your client, you're not really sure about your client, they are taking certain prescriptions, they have some health discrepancies going on, you can call into, Aaron or I, if one of us are on the line, we have other internals always available. So we'll conference in an underwriter and basically do a pre-underwritten assessment. So if you have someone who's, past the health or height and weight chart, for example, the underwriter can let you know if they're going to be, declined, or if we can, offer them a graded option or whatever it may be.
Okay. All right. Thanks,
But
Brian.
but yeah, to kind of bounce off your question, one thing with instant decision is it is not guaranteed issue. So a lot of people can get that confused. Instant decision, okay, that means they're guaranteed to be covered. It still needs to be reviewed by an underwriter. So we don't offer a guaranteed issue like some carriers will.
No problem.
But yeah, with the e-app and our underwriting, it is streamlined, consolidated guidelines. Like I said earlier, we are 0 to 85. But our portfolio for the final expense product is, grow your business with the final expense solution. We have 3 different solutions, as I kind of went over briefly: the immediate solution, 10-pay solution, and easy solution. So I'll touch on these in more detail in the next 3 slides. But the immediate and the 10-pay are your immediate coverage, and the easy solution is that graded death benefit.
Excuse me a second. Let me back up and ask you a question. So you said that, it's not guaranteed. If it says approved, it's still not guaranteed. It still might get reviewed. So how often does that happen where the decision is changed?
Oh, Jimmy, he was meaning that they don't offer a guaranteed issue product.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that if it's approved on the e-app, it's going to stay approved.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They'll stay approved. We just don't have a product where we're going to issue anyone and everyone. It
Yeah,
still
yeah.
has to go through that e-app and basic underwriting process.
All right, cool.
But yeah, basically to determine, risk class between standard, preferred, or graded, the client's medical history will determine that product eligibility. So going into each solution, the main product we have to offer or our go-to is going to be the immediate solution. That is what you guys are going to use the most for your basic clients. This is a level premium that endows at age 121. This product is standard to offer the 0 to 85. and the minimum issue amount is $1,000. So we can go as small as $1,000 death benefit. And then as you can see in this chart, we have different bands. So the max we can offer is 50,000, but that is only up to age 55. And then it kind of trickles down. And as you can see, for ages 76 to 85, our max will be the 25,000. So in that benefit period, as I said, the product will mature or endow at age 121. There will be a cash value growth with the final expense that you can take a policy loan for a rate that is variable but will never exceed 8%. So you can borrow against your cash value. When you do take a loan from that, it will go against the death benefit, so keep that in mind. And then as I explained a little bit earlier, we do have that accelerated death benefit rider that is really going hand in hand with terminal illness. This is built into all of our products. As you can see, the terminal illness accelerated death benefit is for California only, but we do have, the ADBR rider for Florida, and then the accelerated death benefit rider with nursing home benefit for, all other states. But the optional riders that I explained earlier, which do come at an extra cost, is the child or grandchild rider and then the accidental death benefit. So with the child or grandchild rider, we can offer up to 9 children. And for final expense, it is 5 units maximum, and each unit is $1,000. But to keep in mind, if you have 9 children, and we go with 5 units, which is the 5,000 on the child rider, that will go to each children. It's not going to be split up where they're going to get 1/9 of 5,000. Each child will be covered for 5,000. And then moving on to the 10 pay, the biggest difference with the 10 pay is it is paid up in 10 years. So it is going to be a little bit more expensive compared to the immediate solution because it matures and is fully paid in the 10-year process. It still does endow at age 121, but after 10 years, you have your policy, there's no more payments left, and that death benefit is active as well as it is immediate coverage. The same bands will apply, same minimum issue amount, same issue ages 0 to 85. But another difference is we cannot offer those optional riders. So we'll come with the accelerated death benefit rider or terminal rider for California, but it will not offer a child or grandchild rider, and it won't offer the accidental death benefit rider. And then, one other thing to keep in mind with the immediate is the insured has to be at least 15 days old for the child rider. So basically, we cover 15 days all the way to age 85. And then moving on, our easy solution is that graded death benefit that I spoke of. So it is a 2-year waiting period. What happens is if the client were to pass away in those first 2 years, they'd get their premiums back plus 10%. So basically 110% will be paid back. After that 2-year mark, they'll have the full death benefit in place. So these are, again, going to endow at age 121, level premiums. But the difference here is if you work in New York at all, we can only cover 50 to 75. And we do not cover children on the easy solution. So it is 18 to 80 only. We will not go up to 85. Another difference is the max for easy solution is 25,000. So it's almost like covering that 76 to 85 with the immediate. We can only cover up to 25,000, and the minimum issue age or amount is still 1,000. But yeah, kind of branching off what we went over with the EAP earlier, fast automated underwriting, no exams or labs, so they won't have to meet with a nurse to do the blood and urine like a fully underwritten product would. Only 2% of applicants will require personal history interviews, so it is very rare that we're going to have to, kind of like you asked Joe, it is very rare that we're going to have to go through more underwriting with a personal history interview. But yeah, reduced cycle times, no delays, ensures information is clear, you don't have to go back. So, and then it is electronic signature capable for immediate processing. So in the e-app are two different options for signature, is either in person with a touchscreen capability, whether that's an iPad, Surface Pro, whatever it may be, or the email. So how the signature will work, you'll complete the application and then it will go into an email to the client, they'll sign, and then it'll come back to the agent for them to sign and submit.
Yeah.
But
So Jesse, just real quick, if you have an agent that is selling over the phone as an example, and let's say Transamerica is the best fit, but that client doesn't really use email, then we're not going to be able to do an application with that client, correct?
well, we still have the paper application in that scenario.
I'm talking about we're doing it remote, like telesales as an
Yeah,
example.
the only option we do have remote is the email, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is the only option for remote
Yeah, I
signature.
just want to make that clear that for agents not to try to get tricky and make up an email address for the client and sign for them and crap like that. It's not the way you do it. You can't do it that way. I guess you could, but if you get caught, you're going to get terminated. Just not worth it. If you're selling remote, and for right now, I know Transamerica's got, they're working on some stuff where in the future, maybe we can do it. But for right now, if you're selling remotely, you're doing a telesale and that client doesn't have an email address to do the e-application, you need to find a different carrier for that application.
I have a question regarding the email. So what I've noticed is a lot of seniors, they have, smartphones and they have their email set up there. They have no clue on how to access from a computer. So how user friendly or I guess you can say mobile friendly is the e-signature from a mobile device like their cell phone?
So it is definitely still capable to sign the application from a cell phone. When they receive the email, it is going to give them instructions on how to sign. So basically, to open up the email, there will be instructions on how to open up the e-app. What we want is the client to review it to make sure, their personal information is correct. So that's why it needs to go to the client for them to see, just to really overview it, make sure nothing's missing. But it is capable from a phone. Definitely is a lot easier from a computer, just because the screen's bigger. The processing is going to work a little bit better, but we are capable to sign it from a phone.
But
Perfect.
how friendly is it is what I'm saying. Because if
Um,
we vote and we're not there to help them, so that's what I'm saying. Is it going to be difficult? Is it a challenge or?
Well, I haven't really heard too much from the field that it is a challenge. It really just depends on how tech savvy the client is. Because my grandparents can barely even work their phones. So in that case, it can be difficult for sure. But it is all explained and outlined in the email how to complete the signature. So it's just one of those things where it's really case by case dependent on the client, but it is definitely capable to sign the application from a phone.
Okay.
But yeah, like Joe said, definitely don't create a fake email or anything like that, because that's definitely incompliant and can cause a lot of problems. But
Yeah.
Branching off of that, I know there are some people out there that are never going to create an email, and no matter what you say to them, they aren't going to. But I always suggest for my agents, you want to have this information somewhere, whether it's a file that you're going to get from your policy, but also, we're going to send out updates and alerts. So it's really good to create an email, just because, you're going to get information from Transamerica on your policy. So I would always suggest, maybe trying to explain that to them, and maybe they will create an email, maybe they won't, but yeah, if it is remote, email is our only option, and then we obviously have the in-person signature or a paper application. But yeah, I mean, easy, seamless process, fast commission payments, available 24/7. You can always use the e-app. But how to get started, this is the tools we were explaining at the very beginning. We have a mobile quoting link that you can use for quoting, so you don't always have to necessarily go to the agent portal to run a quote. We also have Aaron or I Monday through Friday and the rest of the sales desk to run quotes if you're in a rural area, you don't have access and you're doing a paper app, whatever it may be. But yeah, we'll want to get everyone registered through our agent portal, the advisor portal, or the agent net info portal. That is where we'll have to go to use the IGO e-app. There is no direct link to get to IGO. But yeah, we want to evaluate the proposed insured happens behind the scenes on the express underwriting. And then, you'll go through, you'll finish the application, place the case, and then manage your entire book from the agent portal. So you can see your pending and in-force status. Some creative features that stand us apart with the final expense is our Social Security billing authorization feature. So this is very unique. The Social Security billing can be paid or can be used to pay premiums. Going hand in hand with Social Security billing, we now have a new credit card billing option. So we are allowing clients to pay with Visa or MasterCard as well. So now we have the Social Security billing and the credit card, as well as electronic funds transfer, pre-authorized check from the bank account, and various things like a money order and then those types of payment styles.
Hold up, wait a minute. That's big news right there. So you're saying they have a debit card, they can use that for to pay their bill?
So as long as it's Visa or MasterCard, we do now have the credit card option, yes.
Okay, and then my next question on that is, how does that pay the commission? Is that going to be like as earned, or is that going to be advanced?
So we are still advancing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron, we are still advancing the 75% on the credit card billing option.
Wow, that's phenomenal news. Did you catch that, Joe? I know you stepped away for a second.
Yeah. No, I actually knew that. We did, there was a call we did maybe a month or two ago that was entitled Transamerica is Back. And we did mention, I don't think I really like highlighted that much, but yeah, besides just the Direct Express, they will now accept any debit or credit card, like Jesse said, as long as it's it's not net spend or one of those, but as long as it's a real MasterCard or Visa, they'll accept it.
Yeah, so any of those Chime cards or Apple cards, unfortunately, we can't accept. But yeah, we already kind of went over these next three things: the nursing home rider and how we can provide benefits through child rider or ADB. But premium payments are made simple. 30% of final expense policyholders are retired when their policy is issued. So we want to utilize Social Security billing authorization if needed. It is a feature that we have put into place. And very convenient to your clients and very good for your business because it gives them extra options for payment if they need it. But the flexibility is made simple, kind of what I've been reiterating over and over. 7 out of 10 65-year-olds today will need some form of long-term care services, which, our nursing home benefit rider has that availability at no extra cost to those who qualify. 7,513 the monthly cost for semi-private room in a nursing home. So as you can imagine, that is not necessarily affordable for most Americans, in being able to help benefit that and help pay for things like that is what really helps the final expense stand apart. But yeah, the rider pays the face amount less interest discounts, loans, as administrative fees, and premiums that would be due in the next year. But moving on, family coverage made simple, just some basic facts. 2.9 million grandparents are raising their grandchildren, so that's why, a grandchild rider is very efficient and makes it a great option. It's not just a children's rider. We also let grandchildren get covered on that rider. But yeah, final expense is just one solution for your entire family. So let's see. Oh yeah, and with the child or grandchild rider, there's no health questions, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, these are just some marketing tools here. We have a lot of agent material. This is our agent guide on the left. This is not to be dispersed to clients. This is for you. It will have, various underwriting questions, how people will qualify for certain risk classes, and then, height, weight chart, all that good stuff. And then this is our spec sheet, which is a really good resource for you agents. But yeah, these two are going to be for agent use only. And I can get these out to Joe. I can get them out to any of you agents out there in the meeting. If you want to reach out to me, I can get you some hard copy stuff as well. But then here's just some more various material that we have to offer, different training videos, things like that. And the one that I really want to touch on is this final expense consumer brochure. This is the one that you can give to your clients. We also have a final expense client video that will help go over, our products and all of that, or at least the final expense. But yeah, this consumer brochure is what you'll want to have with you when selling the final expense product, just because it will really, your clients can take it home, they can read it after, being interested, and it can really help a sale. Yeah, that's all I got for today in terms of the presentation. Now, Joe, did you want to kind of look at the agent portal and walk through our resources?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about like agent net info?
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could take a tour of that, just a couple of real quick notes. I mean, I just want to, from my own personal experience, talking to the agents, some of the things that I've always liked about Transamerica is one is as far as commissions go, is that Transamerica is one of the few carriers that pays the same commission for all ages, whether you're writing a juvenile at age 0 or that client who's 85 years old. If it's an not easy solutions, I'm sorry, the immediate solutions, if they qualify for either preferred or standard, doesn't matter how old your client is, you're going to get paid the same commission level versus some other carriers. I mean, you can take a pretty significant hit if they're over age 81, and some of them for younger ages. So just kind of a note there. The other thing too is that the grandchild rider, I think, is really a big deal. That's a great thing to put on. And what I like about the Transamerica grandchild rider is that literally there are no health questions. So, sometimes, agents will come to me and they'll ask, hey, we need to get this child covered, but there's some medical or health issues. What do I do? Man, write the grandparent, a policy and put the grandchild on there. And then just to clarify with the grandchild rider, you might have mentioned this, I might have missed it, but is I believe the rider is good until age 25. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I actually didn't mention that. Thank you for bringing that up.
And is
Is
it
it good?
convertible?
Yeah, so it is good until age 25. At age 25, that policy will, or that rider will basically disappear in a
Yeah,
way. But at the age of 18, they can convert the rider. So once they're an adult, they can convert it into a whole life policy, and have their own coverage there. But yeah, it will go all the way till age 25, and then it basically just, in a way evaporates.
Is
got
it
it.
okay for them to convert after 18, like let's say at 24 before they turn 25?
Yeah, as long as they convert before 25, they're good to go. But once they hit age 25, it's one of those things where they won't have that coverage anymore.
And they
Okay,
can
one other
convert
technical
without
question. Oh, Jimmy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
they can convert without proof of insurability, correct?
Yes, for the amount that they have, if they want to expand their coverage amount, so if 5,000 is not enough for what they're looking for, they will have to, basically go through an underwriting process. But in terms of the child rider, that is fully convertible, yes.
And 5,000 is the max that you can add on for the rider, correct?
For final expense, yes.
Yeah. And what's the maximum of, I guess you can say kids? Like how many kids can you do?
Yeah, that's going to be 9.
9. Okay.
So yeah, I briefly touched on that. Just keep
Yeah.
in mind that 5,000 goes towards all 9 children. It is not a split. So if you have 9 children, you have 5,000. They all are covered for 5,000. It's not going to be like a fraction.
And it's the same. It's just the same, I guess, flat. I think it was like $1.10 or something like that. I remember.
Yeah, it really depends on the age of the client and everything, but yeah, it's a very, very affordable rider, yes.
All right, one other question about the grandchild rider. I think I already know the answer. I just want to get clarification. Um, can the grandchild rider, if you do 5 units, are you able to do it where that actually exceeds the face amount of the primary insured?
No, so it has to be even with the face amount of the primary insured, at least
Okay,
even.
so if I want to do 5,000 on a grandchild, the parent or grandparent has to have at least 5,000 of coverage.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, all right, very good, thank you.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah. Let's see here, and you
Well, I
guys
guess
could
to that
still.
point, just real quick to that point, just for the sales force, if you have that child who is, between the ages of 0 and 17, hasn't turned 18 yet, is that the age limit? Is it 0 to 17?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
And one thing to keep in mind is we can't add a child rider to an active policy unless it's a newborn. So if you
got
have
it.
a policy and you're like, oh crap, I should add in my child, unfortunately we cannot do that unless it's a newborn.
No problem. So just to cover this real quick, if you've got that young person, that child is going to be hard to get covered, man, just write the parent or the grandparent, write them a $5,000 policy and add the grandchild rider for $5,000. So, all right,
Yep.
buddy, let's get into agent net info.
Yeah, and you could still see my
Hey,
screen, right? I'm sorry?
can I ask a question before you go on? So
Yeah, no
like
problem.
new users, one of the things that a new user gets hung up on is it asks for the office ID. What's the right way to set this up? Because we don't have an office ID.
Yeah, so the Office ID is not required. That's actually a great question. The Office ID is not required with an application. As long as you have, if you're still in contracting, you have your social. You're always going to need your social as the agent, but your social and your agent number are what we really need for the application. The Office ID is not necessarily required.
No, but I mean to register for Agent Net Info.
To register for AgentNet Info, you just need your information, and you need to be contracted through, your upline there. So you'll go through a contracting process, and then you'll get an agent code. So once you have that agent code, you can register for AgentNet Info.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking. So when agents are trying to register, it's asking them for an office ID.
Yeah, so with that, it shouldn't be required, but you won't be able to get into the agent portal until you have that active agent code. So if you're in the contracting process, you're totally able to start an application. It's going to have to be a paper application in that case. But you're able to start an application. You can call me.
I'm,
I can run quotes because you won't be able to run them yourselves unless you use the mobile quoting link. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
talking about somebody that is contracted and they have their agent number. So when it asks for an office ID, is that what you mean? Like use your agent number or
yeah.
is it the upline?
As long as you have the agent ID, you'll be good to go to register.
Yeah, and if I could chime in too, Jesse, if you click on new user registration on the AgentNet info login right there, we
Mhm.
can show them real quick what the required fields would be. There's not going to be the agency code or kind code asked on there. All there is just the primary information of the agent, as well as just an email, and I believe there's a question on there. So the agent ID, agency ID, and kind code, that wouldn't be applicable. It's not asked on the general registration form there.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Aaron. And then, yeah, so we'll go back here. I know we only have about 11 minutes left today, but this is our agent info, interface portal. So first thing I'll touch on is for once you sell a product, you're gonna have your pending reports here. So you can come in, you'll have your pending summary. This is where you can put in, last name, first name, and then agent number, and then you can search up all your pending policies. So this is really good for finding out if there's any pending requirements. Mainly that's only going to apply to other products like term, because there's really not going to be, especially with the EAP, there won't be many pending requirements for the final expense. But yeah, the pending summary is where you'll go here in the pending reports for that. And then this is the iGo EAP. So this is where you'll go to run e-applications. You'll jump into here, you'll start a new case, you'll put in all the client's information, and I can walk, you guys through this on a more personal level. And so if there's any questions you're confused about, I can kind of explain how to answer those. But yeah, this is where you'll go basically right in the middle. This is just on the home page here on the AgentNet info. This blue box on the left-hand side is basically going to be your best friend. This is where all your resources will be to, check pending reports. And, there is in-force reports here. So you can go to in-force policies, search up by policy number if your client wants to, get reminded of what their policy is and what they have. And then in the sales and marketing here, this is where we can go to look up different things with financial strength to help make a sale, kind of explaining, where we win. And then, and if I'm going a little too fast, just let me know.
No, you're good, man. We're getting this recorded, so they can rewatch it if they need to.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to be make sure we get this in time. And then product information is where you can go. You can click into here for our different products. Since we're focused on final expense, I'll go here. But you'll put in the state, then you're always going to put in the marketing and title. That will help you look up any product material, and I can always send out a literature order to all of you, so you have some hard copy stuff as well. And then for quoting and illustrations, this is where we go. This is our Launch My Transware tool. For some reason, it's not working on AgentNet info for me right now, but in here, you'll just click the Launch My Transware. Every one of our products will come up, and then you can go directly to the final expense. Like I said earlier, I'll email this out to Joe. There is a mobile quoting link that you can use. Only downside with the mobile quoting link is you cannot add the riders. So you have to go to Transware or call one of us to get a rider added to an illustration. And then the last thing I really want to touch on, at least for now, we can go over all these things, in the future, is the email documents. So I get this a lot, especially when we're doing a paper application. Clients, working, I know a lot of you agents are working from home, probably most of you, but when you're doing a paper application and you want to email it, you don't want to deal with the fax or have to go to a library, whatever it may be. This is where we can send in applications. We don't necessarily like to send in applications direct to an email. So we want to use the agent portal to submit applications. And this is what we use is that email documents. So only things you need is these red stars. Department will be new business and underwriting. And then, you put in your information, phone number, and then you'll attach the PDF of the application here. And if you want to upload anything to new business, you can also upload those here, and then it will be indexed by new business.
Hey, Jesse, just real quick on the e-application, guys, just so you know, if we do on seniorsolutionsagents.com on our training website, if you go to product training, click on Transamerica, there is a video, there's a tutorial on how to complete the Transamerica e-application.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for touching on that. But that's basically the gist of the kind of 5 things that you're mainly going to use in the agent portal. Like I said, pending reports, your enforced policy status, email documents, the iGo e-app, and then the Launch My Transware, which is the quoting and illustration tool.
Yeah, you guys have, Transamerica has some of the best reports out there too. So also for agents, whether you're an individual or maybe you have a team, one great thing about the agent net info is that you can go into your production. It's actually listed under pending practice preferred. Where is it?
What were you looking for? The enforced reports?
No, hang on one second. Oh, production tracking. So under production tracking, it will not only report your own individual, it'll also, if you have downlines, it'll show you what your downlines are doing as well. So it's great. The Transamerica has always had one of the best back offices out there as far as available reports. So very
Perfect.
good.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for touching on that. Then, the last thing I'll cover before, if you guys have any questions, let me know. We can answer any questions offline if they come up.
Okay.
But yeah, with our new, final expense campaign that we touched on a little bit with, the shorter paper application, we did come out with that credit card billing option. As I said, that was part of the campaign. But we also did recently reprice the final expense. So we have fresh new rates, very, very competitive, especially from ages 20 through 50. At Preferred, we're going to be number 1 in the industry. But going forward in terms of premium pricing, we are going to be, number 1 of the best providers for, affordability and, getting your clients coverage for, not having to pay too much. So we did the reprice new credit card. We just recently moved back up to 85 because there for a while, because of COVID, we were restricted at 75. So those are some of the new things that that just recently came out.
Awesome. Awesome. Jimmy, any questions before we let these guys go? Actually, Jimmy, I think he hopped off. He had that funeral to go to. Let me see. Yeah, he hopped off. Looks like you must have done a great job. There's no questions from the field force. So Aaron and Jesse, certainly appreciate you guys taking the time to be on the call today. And we will get this out to everybody. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. Jesse, thanks for being on, buddy.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us. And like I said, if we want to set up some more webinars for the other products, we'll definitely be able to do that in the upcoming weeks or whenever you guys are available.
Yeah, we definitely will. Definitely want to cover that. Aaron, thanks to you as well. So appreciate you guys. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. This is going to conclude our training for the day. All right, take care. God bless.
Thanks, Joe. You have a good one.
Bye, buddy. You too.
All right, bye, Joe.
Bye-bye.